All right, here goes nothing. So have fun while I do my first video screen lecture. So have fun laughing while I make a lot of mistakes. So let's get started. All right, this is our final review for our final test. So honestly, everything on here is going to be on the test. Let me repeat, everything on here will be on the test. So long as you can figure out a way to pay attention now, then you will do really good on the final. All right? So make sure that you have your study guide out because we're just going to kind of go through that chronologically. So without further ado, let's start with our nouns. So hopefully you can figure out what the nouns are automatically, but if you need the review, nouns are a person, place, or thing. So your name is a noun. Okay? So think about this list right here. So I've got a dog, I've got playing, I've got shoes, kid, test. Okay, dog, that's a thing. That's a noun. Playing, person, no. Place, no. Thing, no. Okay, so we found it right away. Playing is going to be our not noun. Okay, so number 3 on your study guide. Terry saw her brother's dog. So this will be the trickiest one. So I want you to kind of think about this and try to find where those nouns are. So the first one, we have Terry. Yep. That's a person. Definitely a noun. Saw her brother's dog. So we talked about this way back when. When you see this apostrophe S, that makes brother, which is usually a noun, it turns into an adjective because it's describing the dog. Okay? So you're going to see on your test something that is describing a noun. You're going to see an adjective. Okay? So be on the lookout for those adjectives. Okay? So in our scenario, our one other noun will be dog. Yep. Okay. So pause this and finish the rest of those. Now that you have unpaused, we're going to move to verbs. So verbs are the action of the sentence. When you think of Nike, it's what you do. Verb, it's what you do. So verbs are the action. Okay, so remember the be verbs. So pause this now and complete all of the verbs for the next section. And now that you have unpaused it, let's go with one that I think is going to be the trickiest. So number 1, my toes are sunburnt. Sunburst. Ooh, starburst sounds good. Okay, remember the be verbs are am, is. Let's write those down. Be verbs. Am, is, are, was, were, be, being, been. Okay, all of these, keep these memorized because just like this, you're going to have to find where the verb is in a sentence. So are will be your verb. Okay. So let's take a short break since you've been paying close attention so far. And let's watch one of my favorite things. Oh, I guess we can't because it's not going to move over. Just one moment. So, bummer, I had some fun videos of little humans falling over. which is pretty funny, but at least you can see half the screen. She's trying to take her down. Actually, not at all. Okay, I don't know if we'll get to watch anymore, but whatever, we'll see. Okay, moving on. We have the subject. So next we're going to talk about subject and predicate. So when we talked about the subject has 3 parts. It'll answer 3 questions, and it will always answer these 3 questions or parts to a subject. Okay, number 1, who or what is it about? Who or what the sentence is about. Next, it needs a noun. It needs a person, place, or thing. And then the third thing is it'll be at the beginning of the sentence. Okay? So what we have here is a little something we call a compound subject. Okay? So before we get to this, I want you to pause this and then complete the subject. Well, actually, don't pause it yet, because we need to talk about both subject and predicate. Okay, so here we have Troy and Gabriella sing at the talent show. How cute. I forgot a period. Okay, since we have a compound subject, there's going to be 2 subjects. So who or what is this about? Troy and Gabriella. Are they both a noun? They're both people. Are they at the beginning of the sentence? Yes. So I am going to circle, or at least try to circle, Troy and Gabriella. Okay. And it covered it up. Great. So I'm just going to take that back. You get the point. Troy and Gabriella are the subjects. So next, moving on, we'll talk about the predicate. Okay. The predicate is about what the subject is doing. It answers the question, okay, what are Troy and Gabriella? What are they doing? What happened to them? Okay. It'll always need a verb, and it'll always be the second part of the sentence. Originally we said it's at the end of the sentence, but sometimes it's like the second word, okay? But it's at the second half of the sentence. So let's go back. Troy and Gabriella, what did they do? They sang at the talent show. So remember, after the subject, the first word right after the subject will be the verb. Okay? And then the verb and everything after that is the predicate. Okay? So now let's go to this sentence. They are a perfect match. Who or what is this about? Well, they. Is that at the beginning of the subject? Oh my gosh. That is at the beginning of the subject, or that is the beginning of the sentence. And what are they doing? Or who are they? They are a perfect match. What's our verb here? Okay. It is a be verb. It's are. Okay. Now, addresses. It's been a while since you have worked on these. Maybe most of you gotten the letter that you wrote to yourself. But anyways, it's important to know this information. So with this in mind, look at this screen. Look at how to organize an address. And I want you to pause. And I want you to complete the next 2 addresses. Alright, you should have both addresses done by now. Okay. So what it's going to look like. So let's organize this. Move it up here, okay? So what's the guy's name? Mr. Cupcake. I want to be friends with him. Street address. Where does Mr. Cupcake live? He lives in Frosting Lane. Oh, let's give that an address. 23 Frosting Lane. 23 Frosting Lane. I actually know this guy, and he's awesome. Just kidding. I don't know. I know no cupcakes. Okay, the reason why apartment is optional is because not everyone lives in an apartment. So that'll be next. Apartment 18 City, state, where does he live? Candy Cane, Florida. Oh my gosh. And I make sure there's a comma dividing the city and the state. And his zip code is 40211. Okay. Now, moving on to citation sentences. Okay, you on the test will have 5 citation sentences. 3 of them will be direct quotations, the exact quote that you'll put in quotation marks, and the other 2 will be paraphrased. Okay? So, listen close because I'm basically going to give you most of the information on what you need to know for the test. So, let's review. Citation sentences give credit to the author. Using citations give you credibility, and they make sure that you don't plagiarize. Okay? This is a serious issue in every school, anywhere where there's academia. Plagiarism is a huge issue. So citation sentences are the way that you can give credit to that author. So, the 3 things that you need in each citation sentence is the author's last name, you need the page number when you're citing from a book or text, and you need the text, you know. What did the author say? It can be paraphrased or it can be the exact quote. Notice how I put quotation marks around exact quote. Okay. Let's pick it up in just a second and let's try to watch another little human falling over. Maybe you can see this. Cute little girl. Tetherball. I don't think she got too hurt. That's not too funny. Let me look for one. Just a second. Okay.